you ever go to New York and go to maybe Rockefeller Plaza, Rockefeller Center? If you go to New York, maybe you'll go over the Tappan Zee Bridge, the Robert Kennedy Bridge, which is now I think the Cuomo Bridge, take the Major Deegan Expressway. All of these things are named after people who maybe in their life accomplished something. So everyone wants to have their name on something. Everyone wants to be known about something. Go to Harrisburg, named after John Harris. Middletown, named after Mr. Middle. No, it's the middle point. Did you know this is the middle point between Lancaster and Carlisle? Is why it's called Middletown. That's what you get when you read those blue signs. But anyway, people want something named after them. It's like an accomplishment. Jesus heals these two men, gives them their sight, and he tells them something very strange. Don't tell anyone about this. Why does he do that? He does that so many times, especially in Mark's gospel, but today in Matthew's gospel, he says, see that no one knows about what I just did. Because these two blind men call him the Son of David. They don't say the Son of God, they say Son of David. Meaning that they knew that Jesus was coming from the line of David, that he was the king to be expected after David, the King of Kings, the Messiah. Now, most people did not expect Jesus to be the Messiah. Why? Because they expected a political ruler, someone who would overthrow the Romans, who were really bothering the Jewish people. So they weren't looking for someone like Jesus. They were looking for a conqueror. Well, Jesus came to conquer. He came to conquer sin. Is that enough for us? It wasn't enough for Judas, who turned Jesus in because he wasn't who he thought he was. Judas was called a zealot. And zealots were people who wanted to overthrow the Romans, and they expected the Messiah to come and do that. And Judas had these expectations that Jesus would do that. Well, Jesus didn't do that. Simon, another apostle, was a zealot. He wanted to overthrow the Romans. He kind of got over that. Judas couldn't. Barabbas was a zealot. The crowd wanted Barabbas over Jesus. Why? Because Barabbas could help overthrow the Romans. Jesus was coming to overthrow sin. It wasn't enough for many Jewish people at that time. Is it enough for us? Is it enough that Jesus conquers sin in us? Or do we want something more? Do we want him to conquer something else? Sin is what keeps us away from the kingdom, brothers and sisters. Nothing else. And so he comes to conquer that which keeps us away from him. That has to be enough. This Advent, brothers and sisters, let him conquer that which he conquers. The only thing that destroys our life with him. Let him conquer sin in us. That takes us to acknowledge it in our lives, to acknowledge that we have it, that we're not all perfect, but that he is. And he is the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, and yes, the Son of David, who came to conquer our enemies, the enemy, so that we might live with him forever. Praise be Jesus Christ, King of the universe, now and forever. Please stand.